Day one of my jiu-jitsu journey, I walked in thinking I was going to beat everybody up, and I got wrecked. I don't know what I was thinking. Today, we're covering the 7 reasons why jiu-jitsu will change your life. It has been a dramatic upgrade for me in my life ever since I started about 10 years ago. And I'm going to share some of those reasons with you. If you are unsure about jiu-jitsu, maybe you want to get started, but you're a little nervous, or you're someone who's been training for a while and you want to get a buddy to sign up, this is the video for them. Number 1, it's going to build confidence. Now, when I first started going to jiu-jitsu, I walked in with a heightened sense of confidence. I was a wrestler, I was powerlifting at the time, and I thought that I was just gonna walk in and whoop everybody. I noticed that most of the people were a bit smaller than me, and I thought I was gonna steamroll everyone. Usually as a brand new white belt, you don't get to spar, but because I had wrestled for years, they allowed me to spar. And fast forward to that first round with my first training partner. He was 40 pounds less than me. He was a blue belt at the time, and he wrecked me in such an embarrassing way. But it wasn't the kind of embarrassing where I wanted to disappear and never show my face again. It was the kind of embarrassing where I knew that if someone else could do that to me, imagine what I could do if I learned this art. Fast forwarding to when I was a 3-stripe white belt on a camping trip with several of my buddies, the biggest guy there decided to say, jiu-jitsu doesn't work. It would never work on him. He's too big, he's too strong. And he's a big guy. He's 6'4", 240 to 260, not sloppy. And in my excited 3-stripe white belt mind, I decided, you know what, let's put it to the test. So we set it up and we sparred in the grass. And every time that we started, he would spear me and then would find himself in a triangle choke. He'd find himself in an armbar. He'd find himself in these situations where he was forced to tap. And that wasn't because I'm good at jiu-jitsu. It's just because jiu-jitsu works. When you're rolling with your jiu-jitsu partners at the school, you may feel, especially as a white belt, like you can't do anything. But you roll with someone who doesn't have any experience, it's a completely different animal. And I do find that when you grapple with people who don't have any experience, they do the wildest things to just put themselves in bad positions. Of course he was strong, of course he was fast and athletic, but he didn't know what to do. And once he tackled me to the ground, his arms were available for the breaking, his neck was available for the choking. And again, this is because jiu-jitsu works. And I was able to do it without hurting him, right? I was able to essentially win those fights, those matches, without destroying his body. Obviously, I could if I wanted to, but that's not the point. And once I realized that size and strength without training isn't all that scary, my confidence went through the roof. Essentially, I'm walking around realizing that everybody on the road and everybody at the store and everybody that you run into in the public who doesn't train is essentially a trial guy or girl. They have literally no idea what to do once you put them on the ground. And many of them really can't do much from their feet either. But the general public has just no idea how to defend themselves. And once you make this realization, at least for me, things like interviews weren't so nerve-wracking. Meeting new people wasn't so nerve-wracking. And outside of meeting new people, any kind of social interaction, I'm a little bit more of an introvert than an extrovert, wasn't so awkward for me. Right? And it's just because I had a heightened level of confidence, and jiu-jitsu does that in such a beautiful, effective way. Most people don't realize this, but your gear can either help you or hold you back. Now, I've been training in jiu-jitsu gear for a long time, and most of it looks good online, but falls apart when it actually matters. That's exactly why I wear X Martial. This isn't just clean designs, it's performance-built gear. You get a compression fit that actually moves with you, durability that holds up during the hardest of rounds, and designs that don't look like every other basic rash guard on the mat. Whether you're drilling, competing, or going to war with one of your favorite training partners, X Martial is built for it. It's lightweight, it's breathable, and it's made for people who actually train. If you're serious about your jiu-jitsu, your attire should match that. So go check out X Martial, grab yourself a set or 2 or 3, and if you're smart, you use my code IRONWILL to save yourself some money. Train harder, roll longer, and look sharp doing it. Let's get back to the video. Number two is that jiu-jitsu builds functional strength and stamina. Now, I've talked about this in the past, that bodybuilders, although are strong and look strong, that strength doesn't always translate very well to jiu-jitsu. If you've been training for a little bit, you've probably rolled with someone who is smaller than you that felt incredibly strong and like they had unlimited energy. That's because over their years of training, they've been able to build more tensile strength, more functional strength that helps them apply jiu-jitsu in angles and awkward positions. And it also helps them be effective with their movement, so they're not getting tired all that quickly. So not only are they not gassing out as fast as you, they're gonna feel stronger than you, even though they're smaller. Jiu-jitsu does a great job at putting the human body under tension, under stress, in unique positions that the everyday person doesn't experience. And you gotta keep in mind too, a lot of these people that are out walking around in the street who've never trained jiu-jitsu have never even been in a single fight. Whereas, let's say you've been training for a year, and let's say you've been going to class 3 times a week for a year. Well, we can do the math. If there's 52 weeks in a year and you're going 3 times a week, so that's 156 sessions a year, okay? And let's say that you get a good amount of sparring in, so maybe you're getting 5 rounds at the end of every class. So in that year, you've essentially simulated 780 fights in 1 year of training. That will do something to the human body. That's going to change you, not just mentally with confidence, like we mentioned in the first example, but the way your body changes. You're going to burn fat. You're going to build muscle that the gym isn't necessarily going to build for you. And you're going to become mobile and flexible in movements that the everyday person doesn't have exposure to. So when you come to a jiu-jitsu gym, and maybe you're like me and you're a little bit bigger than everybody there, but everybody felt freak strong, it's because they've been doing it. They're acclimated. They have built jiu-jitsu strength. And as someone who's been training for 10 years, I'm a 4-stripe brown belt. I just got my 4th stripe last week. I can tell you one of the coolest things is seeing someone come into the gym a bit out of shape and a bit unconfident, won't really make eye contact, gives a sloppy, soft handshake. And within 6 months, they're a totally different person. All of a sudden, they're burning fat. They're feeling a lot stronger. They're looking people in the eye. They're shaking hands nice and firm, confident. They just change in the best way possible. And jiu-jitsu is such a strong physical vehicle to make that happen. And it leads nicely into my number 3, which is it builds friendships through trust. Some of my best friends are from jiu-jitsu. And if I didn't have jiu-jitsu in my life, I probably never would have crossed paths with them. Jiu-jitsu is really great at mixing people from all walks of life. And although there are other things in life that will do that, jiu-jitsu is a trust-based system. If I get you in a submission and you tap, you're trusting that I'm gonna let go. And what does the tap represent? You're either breaking me or ending me, essentially, right? So there's a lot of value in that trust. So although I probably never would have ran into the 50-year-old attorney, father of 3 in my everyday life, because I'm in jiu-jitsu with him, we become friends because we trust each other. And that trust means everything. So if you're someone who wants to make friends, maybe you're feeling like you don't really have any friends, go to jiu-jitsu. It will cultivate more engagement in your life, even if you're introverted. You don't have to say a lot of things. You don't have to say a lot of words in jiu-jitsu, because once you start practicing jiu-jitsu, that is the language. Even when I travel, I've been to all different gyms from all over the world. And even in areas where they don't speak any English, I don't understand anything they're saying until we start grappling. And then I understand everything and they understand me. And I've become friends with people that don't speak my language and I don't speak theirs, because we develop trust with each other. It's a beautiful thing, because jiu-jitsu people, I find, have been some of the nicest in the world. There is something that happens in jiu-jitsu where you go through ego death, and usually that happens very early on when you realize you got stomped by someone half your size, or maybe a smaller woman. Even maybe you're a guy and a smaller woman wrecked you, right? You're going to go through something called ego death. And there's 2 types of people in this world. The first one leaves jiu-jitsu and they never come back after they get wrecked. The second, kind of like me, says, I need to learn this. I want to learn this. Well, the people that go through that ego death and stick around are usually a bit more humble. And because there's so much trust involved in jiu-jitsu, it's pretty easy to connect. So whether you want friendships or not, you're going to make more friends once you start going to jiu-jitsu. My next point, which is probably one of my favorites, is it encourages self-development. Now, if you know anything about martial arts, jiu-jitsu is one of the slowest developing belt systems in all of martial arts. In fact, I can't think of another belt system that progresses slower than jiu-jitsu, right? A lot of these martial arts, you can get a black belt as a kid, and a lot of them you can get your black belt in 2 years. Jiu-jitsu, it's not uncommon to get your black belt in 10 years. Usually it takes longer to get your black belt than it does to become a doctor. And there's so much value in that. I find that I relate everything to the jiu-jitsu belt system now that I've been doing it for a while. It's a great reminder, like when I start a business, I'm a white belt. I can't expect myself to be good at this. So many people will start a new venture, and because they're high performing in other areas of their life, they feel like they need to be good at this right away, whatever this is, this new thing. And without that reminder that, hey, you're a white belt, you're supposed to be bad at this, a lot of people just give up. A lot of people will try a new business and they're not good at it and they give up. Many people will go to school for something new and they're like, oh, I'm terrible at this, I don't like it, and they give up, right? There's a lot of value in pushing through those years where you're not good. If you've been training jiu-jitsu for a while, you know that your white belt years are your building years. You're building your defense. You're building your confidence. You're meant to lose. You lose all the time as a white belt, and that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. And that reminder just translates to everything else in life. I love the self-development. Before I started jiu-jitsu, I had launched 2 separate businesses that failed. And they failed because I gave up too early. I just thought, I'm not good at this. This isn't for me. I ran into a couple hiccups, a couple hurdles. Instead of troubleshooting these the way I should have, I was like, this isn't for me. And after jiu-jitsu, I've started a couple businesses that were successful, that are successful. And guess what? Those hurdles still were there. I still had problems and fires I had to put out. And because I had that reminder that, hey, I'm a white belt, I'm not supposed to be good at this, I was able to be successful. And then it's such a powerful thing that we all get to share and experience with jiu-jitsu. Another point is that it really benefits smaller people. If you're a smaller guy or you're a smaller woman and you learn jiu-jitsu, you know how to handle bigger people than yourself. And I feel confident in saying that most people who get attacked aren't attacked by a trained person. I feel very confident in that. Now, where that changes a bit is if this bigger person has training, but I'm confident when I say that most people getting attacked out in the streets aren't being attacked by someone who's a trained martial artist. Quick story, when I was a white belt, I think around 2 stripes, I ran into my first female purple belt, and she was very good. She had a lot of that tensile functional strength that I had mentioned. She was also 90 pounds less than me. I think she was at the time 110 pounds. And in my mind, I'd been training long enough to know, okay, I should go gentle. I should go easy. This is a woman. I don't want to hurt her. When we started, that weight disparity did not matter. She felt like a spider monkey. She was strong. She was very flexible. She was able to find her way to my back way more easily than I was comfortable with. And she was such a pain to roll with, but I developed so much respect and an understanding for what jiu-jitsu can do for a smaller person. Again, she was 5'4", 110 pounds and wrecking me. So if you're a smaller person and you want to feel safe, you want to feel capable, jiu-jitsu is a great vehicle for that. Jiu-jitsu will teach you how to find those routes around the body. It'll give you the functional strength and the mobility to be able to properly take down and pin and submit a bigger person. Now, I'm not talking your white belt years or even your blue belt years. Let's, if you're smaller, let's consider probably purple and beyond at that point. But the ability is there, and it's worth the time and training to get to that point, because no one can take that from you, and it'll always be there in your back pocket when you need it. Which transitions nicely into my next point, and that's you're better prepared and trained for violence. Now, there's always going to be the mindset where people say, well, I'll just have my gun on me. I'll just use my gun. You can't always rely on that. There are situations, and I've seen this time and time again through training videos, through real world scenarios, where a police officer gets pinned to the ground and they get full mounted and they don't have access to their handgun anymore. They just can't get it. If someone tackles you in the streets because they want to rob you and they get to a full mount and you can't get to your gun, you better hope you know jiu-jitsu. You better hope you know jiu-jitsu, because that gun isn't going to save you if you can't get to it, right? Jiu-jitsu, like we did the math earlier, 780 fights, something like that, 780 scraps that you get, that you simulate throughout the year, versus someone who never trains and maybe was in one high school fight. Who do you think's gonna do better in that situation? Jiu-Jitsu also helps keep you a little bit more calmer when you're engaged with violence, right? You play with violence, you train with violence on the daily when you train jiu-jitsu, and you start to realize who's dangerous, who's not so dangerous, and people without training really don't know what they're doing. And all of a sudden, big scary people on the streets aren't so big and scary because the likelihood of them not having any training is high. Now, obviously, there's indicators, there's ways to look at someone and tell if they've had training, and I'm never gonna tell you to judge a book by its cover, right? But the general public doesn't know how to fight. They don't know what they're doing. And with a little bit of jiu-jitsu training, you put yourself light years ahead of these people. There's a lot of value in being able to handle yourself in a violent encounter, especially if you're someone who has someone in their life that relies on you to keep them safe. If you're a parent, or you're a spouse, or you're an aunt, you're an uncle, you're a grandfather, you're a grandmother, you have people in your life that rely on you to keep them safe. I hope that you have the ability to do so. And I hope that you take that seriously and get yourself some jiu-jitsu training, right? Because again, firearms aren't always the answer. And I'm for it. If you want to have a firearm for your self-defense, that's awesome. Totally not against that. I think it's a great thing. But again, you got to be well-rounded. You need to be well-rounded, especially if there's someone in your life that relies on you to keep them safe. And jiu-jitsu does such a fantastic job at keeping you physically and mentally prepared for that violence. And my final point is that jiu-jitsu clears your mind. If you're someone like me and your mind is always on the go, it's always running, jiu-jitsu does a great job at shutting that down. I often feel like after a week without jiu-jitsu training, I feel mentally run down because I haven't had any chance to turn my brain off. My brain is constantly reeling with ideas about content and about work and business and bills and groceries and just everyday life stuff. And if you don't give yourself a mental break, that can really start to pile up. When I'm rolling with my training partners and I'm trying not to get choked, I'm trying not to get my arms twisted or my legs twisted in a way that could break them, I can't think about the bills I need to pay or the groceries I need to buy or any of this stuff. It helps me focus on a single point, which is jiu-jitsu, the puzzle of jiu-jitsu. It's just an all-encompassing 360-degree way to give yourself some therapy that actually translates to a relaxed mind, a happy mind. And that's just not me. I've talked to a lot of people in my training, in my 10 years of training, and I think that most people will agree this is how they feel with jiu-jitsu. And those are all my points on how jiu-jitsu would change your life. I honestly could probably do a 2-hour video on this, but we'll keep it to 10 or 15 minutes, whatever it is right now. If you have other reasons why jiu-jitsu has helped change your life, drop it in the comments because we're all learning and growing together. And honestly, I use your guys' comments for a lot of content ideas. So I may use your comment for a future video. With that, guys, you know how we like to end them, sometimes backwards, always forwards. I'll see you in the next one.